Hi, today on Mad Facts with Pat, we're going to talk about what is possibly one of the most fascinating but contested and debated ritual practices that was utilized among the ancient Romans, at least debated among those who study ancient Roman religion. This was a very unique form of ritual sacrifice, which involved the slaying of a bull and the splattering and possibly pouring what could have been several gallons of blood onto a willing supplicant. This ritual was dedicated to the goddess Cybele, Greek Cybele, and was known to the Romans as Magna Mater, or the Great Mother. And this ritual was known as the Taurobolium, which meant ritual killing of the bull. Now, a key part of the Taurobolium was the blood. And we're fortunate to have over 120 inscriptions throughout the Roman Empire commemorating the ritual, which appears to have been adopted in the early 2nd century CE. In addition to those inscriptions, we have several literary accounts which describe various aspects of Cybele's cultic activity. What appears to have been believed by the people receiving this ritual purification seems to have varied quite a bit. Some refer to it as, in the inscription, as their rebirth into eternity. We heard that before. And others are just having it done for the sake and safety of the emperor. Now, back to the blood part. What we see illustrated here is a classic depiction of the Taurobolium. In this pit is the supplicant, the person that's going to be receiving the blood ritual. Above them on the platform are priests and a bull. And that platform's typically believed to have been made of wood with slats and specially designed holes in it. What would happen is the ritual would commence when the throat of the bull was slit with a knife, and the contents would be ushered out forth onto the platform, which would then fall onto the supplicant, bathing them in the bull's blood, literally a baptism by blood. Now, an average bull holds 10 gallons of blood, so by slitting the major arteries of the neck, quite a bit of that blood's going to come forth, and it's believed anywhere from 2 to 3 and possibly as many as 5 gallons of blood could be released during this ritual. Until a couple decades ago, that classic depiction of the Taurobolium was generally believed to be how it was done. But in the recent scholarship, like, for example, Mary Beard and others, have offered a more limited view. One of the problems with some of our accounts is they are from later Christians who seem to have over-aggrandized and polemicized the practice. And so some scholars, like Dr. Beard, have said that it probably wasn't the Taurobolium pit ritual, but the blood would have been collected during the process, and then an instrument like a branch or stick or some implement would be stuck into a pool of blood, and that blood would be ritually splattered onto the supplicant. And again, it's still a lot of blood being flung onto people, but rather than having this elaborate practice where gallons of blood are poured onto the supplicant, it was a much more measured response. Now understand, the use of blood in Roman rituals for purification was extremely rare, and this seems to be one of the few practices by Romans with blood used in this manner, and it was associated with a foreign goddess. Now there's all kinds of other stuff that we'll talk about with Cybele regarding ritual castration and other things later, but for now, that's been another Mad Fact with Pat.